episode is brought to you by the University of Hawaii, College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, and the Livestock Extension Group.
Aloha, welcome everyone to the Livestock Wala'au, a podcast aimed to provide educational support, information, guidance, and outreach to livestock stakeholders in Hawaii. We are your hosts, Mele Oshiro and
Shannon Sand.
So today we just like to share some updates with you in what we are going to call our little mini podcast about COVID. I guess more so about some of the restrictions that have been lifted or changed, I guess, that we have. CTAHR COVID updates is kind of what we're calling it.
And one of the first things is that we can actually physically be in the same room together if we've been
vaccinated.
We're so excited. Can you tell?
And also, so a couple of things that already did happen was June 1st, some of the campuses were reopened to the public in some of our statewide facilities, not all of them, and some of the experiment stations. Of course, things may still be restricted in some of the areas. So if you are planning to visit, always call ahead because there's been certain things or regulations that are going to still stay that way for a little bit anyways. Yeah. So
and depending on numbers, things could change. We don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't change by the time this little mini episode goes up, but I mean, you'd really never know. I feel like is the thing nowadays.
So expect some changes. Yeah. But you know, as the summer goes on, we'll see how things go.
July 6th, 2021, full in-person services at all offices and buildings for normal business hours for CTAHR is expected. Again, like restrictions or changes could happen, but full service at all CTAHR departments, units, and statewide locations is expected to start. So yay!
Yay! So it just depends, but like we said, just check before you come to the office. But,
it's always wise to call. Plus, with the agents and stuff, we're out in the fields a lot, so it's if you're trying to get a hold of a specific one, definitely call or send an email. Or
always best, including for things like some samples because some of the labs do shut down for a little bit. The other thing is August 3rd. I think we're expected to have all the offices to be completely reopened and have more agents in the office and things. So we'll just see. But those are kind of our updates that we have gotten from our head of our department and the college to, you know, kind of the dates that they're projecting for certain things. So something to look forward to.
Yes. So,
but I think the biggest thing is, you know, our livestock extension group is kind of where our podcasts, I guess, started their funding from and where Shannon and I really got a lot of the beginning support from.
Yes.
Including from our department, our extension dean as well.
Yes.
So we've learned so much in the process.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Of creating this podcast.
Just the behind the scenes stuff. I was like, I feel like we've done a lot in terms of Mele's done a lot in terms of like website development. She's figured out all of that stuff, but we've both learned a lot about editing and video editing, audio editing, online marketing. There's just been a lot that's gone into this and a lot in the, like just the setup process of this alone.
It's been a big learning curve, but it's been good. And I think, you know, so some of the positive things that came out of COVID was that we were but also kind of, I guess, forced to be able to learn the technology and the other resources that are out there for outreach when we couldn't be in person. So, you know, one of the goals of our podcast is to continue our outreach and sharing information with everybody. And Shannon and I started discussing this in the beginning of COVID. I think before we even started shut down, we started talking about podcasts because she and I both listened to them. I have a long commute home to the office in Kona. So I used to listen to podcasts and I think, you know, and within that, we learned a lot of other things that go along with it, the editing of audio and stuff. So
we did not know how much goes into the behind the scenes of this. But I understand why, like, people can do it professionally who get sponsorships and stuff. Like it's a lot, but it's been an amazing journey. Like the learning curve has been steep, but I feel like every time we do one of these, we learn something new and it's just been exciting. We have so much fun doing these. So.
And we've had with the opportunity to have a few different people on, producers and whatnot, that we feel like it's a good opportunity for us to start to share their stories and them share their stories of what's going on. So learning from our neighbors is what I like to say, because I think we all go through the same things and don't really realize it, so you get out and talk to everybody. But yeah. So anyways, that's kind of where we are with the podcast. We are just recorded episode number 5, but that won't be coming out until August. Another update that we should actually have episode number 4 coming out this month. Right after this.
Do you want to give them a little teaser? Tell them what it's about.
Episode number 4 is going to be, we actually had 3 people. 3 guests join us for that one. And we'll be talking with our managing director of the Hawaii Cattlemen's Council, Nicole Galassi, Lonnie Petrie of Kapapala Ranch, and Jerry Moniz of KK Ranch, and talking about our DLNR lease transfers and some of the land lease issues that these producers deal with here in Hawaii, and what's been going on in the legislative sessions this past year with that. So
it was a learning experience. It was really good. I
very good information.
Visiting with them
and just hearing their stories and some of the things that they're having to deal with. So and another update, our livestock extension group lead Mark Thorne and co-hosted with Nicole of HCC the Pauhanas, which if you were on them, we're doing them once a month. We stopped for a little bit in the beginning of, I think our last one was in February of this year. So
maybe March.
I
feel like we had a full year's worth of them.
So we did a little survey. It seems like everybody still enjoyed them. That was there.
Thank you very much.
So I appreciate your feedback on that. We do want to continue the Pauhanas, but it looks like it's going to be moved to more of a quarterly schedule. I don't have an exact start date, but we will have that. And if you were on the Pauhanas previously and had a registration, you will get that information as well. Or you can email us at walaʻau@hawaii.edu, and we will put your name in there so that you make sure you get the information if you like. And I guess we'll go into.
You can kind of talk about some of the things you've been doing. Dolly's been busy gal.
I think we've all been pretty busy just trying to find ways to continue our outreach and move our programs along. So outside of me being the livestock agent, another thing that I do for the state is I'm the beef quality assurance coordinator. And we were supposed to actually have a program last spring, but it got postponed, of course. So we were trying to get it in person this year, but it still wasn't able to get done. So we did just decide to go virtual with the beef, the BQA certification. So for those that don't know, BQA is the Beef Quality Assurance Program. It's run through NCBA. It's a voluntary program that beef producers can go through, but when you participate in the program, it helps to show your consumers that you're just committed to being a responsible cattle producer, and which is one of the main principles of BQA's program. And they follow a lot of the HACCP principles. So it's a hazard analysis, critical control points, right? So it's similar to what a lot of food processors and whatnot use. So you just be able to identify those different points in your production that you can mitigate to make sure that it doesn't impact your final end product. Simple things like maintaining your gates and hooks and things so that when animals are running through your chutes, they don't get bruised, they don't get injured. All those, little things that you probably already are doing, as beef producers. And it's just, another way to continue your commitment to being committed to being a responsible producer, and they have shown that the research behind the program has seen an increase in, I should say, a decrease in meat defects that come through the slaughter facilities nationwide. So this program is national. It's a national program that's run through NCBA, and they do a audit every 5 years. So they have seen that there has been a great decrease in the meat defects.
Oh, that's good.
From, so the BQA folks that are BQA certified producers, they're seeing that improvement. So anyways, it's a great program. It's free. You can do the certification online, depending on the different industry segments that you're in, whether it's cow-calf or stocker or whatnot, or you can sign up when we do an in-person certification, which we hope we can do another one this year, and get certified as an in-person certification. So it's a great opportunity to network with other people that are in there and just learn other things that, hands-on, hopefully we'll be able to have in person. But anyways, so if you want to know more about BQA program, send me an email. You can send it to myself, emmabrown@hawaii.edu or walaʻau@hawaii.edu, either way. And Shannon's been, we've been busy doing all kinds of online stuff. But we did a big online what was it? No, more than 3 series, 4 series online marketing webinar, 5 series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did like a big online direct marketing webinar series in conjunction with another former livestock extension agent. And it went over really well. I thought it was really great. We had a nice panel of people on, and I think we recorded most of those. I think those are up, aren't they?
They should be up on our livestock extension YouTube page.
Yeah, YouTube page. Yeah, so I think those are up there, which is great.
Yep.
And it's just been busy. I feel like I never learned so much about how to do online content as I have this last year. Anyways, I've been involved in a lot of regional stuff. And so because I'm the only extension agent in the area of ag finance and business, risk management, that kind of thing at this point in time. We do have a state specialist that deals with some of those areas, which is great. We've both been participating in some regional groups that also have extension agents because of, resource constraints and things like that we've all been dealing with in all of the states and all of the counties. So we've gotten together and done a few different like online programs that are available, and we'll include links of those in the show notes in the description box. So the first one I've done is negotiation in ag, and that's in conjunction with several other states, including University of Wyoming, Utah State, I want to say Arizona, and California. And so basically what that is it goes through scenarios on how to negotiate in agriculture, whether that's a lease or even if it's equipment, or how to talk to family, which I feel like can be one of the most difficult ones. So we have a lot of family farms here, and it's also a thing on the mainland, but that communication within families, that's a big deal. And it can be a thing to negotiate with your family as someone who is like a third generation farm kid negotiating with your family. It's really important to like figure out how to communicate and talk to them about the things that are important, whether that's, estate and transition planning, or we're looking at buying this new tractor. This is why we want to, things like that. So kind of how to navigate some of that. And then we've also done a really cool series, which is called Ag in Uncertain Times, which I really enjoyed. I've helped do both of them. You'll hear my voice on the negotiation and ag one, more on the ag in uncertain times, but I helped put it together, and we did simulcasting of live streaming. So that was exciting because I got to learn how to do that.
That's pretty cool. We'll have to use that in one day, maybe have a live podcast.
That would be so fun. Yeah. And so we have several different topics. So we did one on basically the weather in the Western region was the most recent one that we did. But prior to that, the one that I helped coordinate, I actually helped coordinate a few different ones, but the one I really enjoyed the most probably was the farm to I always get it. The USDA food box. That's what I'm going to call it. The food box program. And so I tried to get a couple of producers from Hawaii, but it's really early when we shoot it and film it. And it's like 7 a.m. So it was kind of difficult coordination wise, but we got some people, several different producers throughout the West. And we also had who is currently the head of the USDA food box program, the director for that. So that was really exciting because he got to hear direct feedback, and there have been some difficulties within Hawaii, which it's nice to hear that those other states also had some of those things happen in terms of shipments and where they source things from and how they get out to the people. So it was really, really interesting. And it was great because the director got to hear direct feedback from producers.
Nice.
What happened? And like, because they, it was at the end of the third round and prior to the fourth round. And so all these producers were involved in the first two. And then the third round, I don't know what happened there, but it changed. That's what I'll say. And so it was really good because he got to hear feedback on what ended up kind of happening from the producer's standpoint. And so I really enjoyed that. And I thought it was really, really good. And then we also have done some others on the effects of COVID on the food industry in the Western region. And we actually had an economist from Hawaii that was a participant and a panelist. So that was really good because you got to hear, the Western and like Hawaii and Pacific, like what's happened here, how that's affected us. And so I thought that was really interesting. And those are available, and we'll include the link to the website where you guys can listen to those or watch those if you want. So, and then we have some other exciting news coming up here. We've got a visitor.
Yeah. That will be coming over to do some sabbatical research. or project, I should say, the fall of this year. So he will be joining us on a podcast. And he works a lot with risk management. I guess I should say not a lot, but that's kind of his
Ag
area.
Economics is his area of expertise as well.
So he will be joining us later part of the year. And hopefully we'll have more workshops with him that we'll be able to do. So if our fall field day for the Livestock Extension Group does happen, then he'll be able to do a presentation there as well. And that's also where we kind of hope to be able to have like another BQA certification done and have more hands-on things there. So
heck yeah,
we gave you our sneak peek of our next episode already. So another fun thing we thought we'd share with you was some National Livestock Days in July. Outside of our normal holidays, which is coming up, 4th of July, Independence Day. July 6th is another National Livestock Day or National Fried Chicken Day. Sorry, fried chicken lovers.
I'm right here. I do love fried chicken, y'all.
July 13th is our Cow Appreciation Day. So appreciate all those cows for you steak lovers out there. Yeah, go have a good ribeye or something. July 13th. And the 4th National Livestock Day to share in July, July 21st, National Hot Dog Day. So enjoy some hot dogs or steaks or fried chicken and whatnot on those days. Appreciate all our livestock and our livestock producers. Well, thanks for joining us for our little mini Livestock Wala'au episode.
Yeah, make sure to join our Facebook page, the Livestock Extension Group, if you haven't already. And be sure to visit the CTAHR Extension website and our YouTube channel listed in the show notes.
For additional information about this and other topics or comments, send us an email at wala'au@hawaii.edu. Thanks for listening to the Livestock Wala'au mini podcast episode number 1.
Heck yeah. Before we go, show some love for your favorite podcast. That's us, by the way, by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts and anywhere you download this podcast. Then stay tuned for next month's podcast.
We'll see you guys later.
Mahalo.
Till next time.